All right, so I think I'm recording. Oh, anyway. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, computer's freaking out. Okay, so you should see me, you should see my phone. I have been playing around with the settings on my camera. And I thought I'd share with you a few things that I've figured out. Um, of course, everyone has different cameras, but these kinds of settings are common in all types of cameras. My old camera was a Droid, and frankly, it had better settings. It had more what I would call control. Like I could control it more. The iPhone's trying to do your thinking for you, so that actually makes it really annoying for me. But anyways, let's see what we've got available. So I set up this little thing here with one thing in the middle, one thing in the front, and one thing in the back, because I want to show you what depth of field means or what it looks like. So first of all, the thing in the front is going to be closest to the lens. So right now the camera, and actually it's a little slow, it's a little laggy, but that thing in the middle, right now the camera is focusing on that because it's defaults to whatever's in the middle, right? But if I move it around and I bring this little guy to the front, he's now focused on the little guy. And you can see the guy in the middle and the picture in the back are out of focus. The closer you get to an object, the closer you get to an object, the tighter that focus is, the less depth of field you will get in the picture. So right now I'm about as close to this little guy as I can get. And you can see everything just keeps getting fuzzier back there, which is kind of a cool effect. Now there can be a point at which the lens just can't focus anymore. The closer you get, the closer you get, now you can see the lens can't do it anymore. It just physically can't focus that closely. Now, if I tilt it up and choose this object, now the camera, a little yellow box kind of came up. So the camera with that yellow box is trying to figure out what to focus on. Right now, I've mostly filled the frame with the robot, so it focuses on the robot. If I go back here and mostly fill the frame with that lady, you can see the robot is starting to fall out of focus a little bit, right? So if you are in a situation like this where you have one thing in the front, middle, and the back, the only way to get them all in focus is to back it way up. In that case, it allows the lens to have a greater plane or a greater depth of field. The closer you get, the less depth of field you're going to end up getting. But then again, like I said, that's a good thing. Sometimes that's exactly what you want. There is an exposure compensation tool in the iPhone 11. I think it's kind of crappy, but it does two things. It allows you to choose what's in focus, and it allows you to choose the exposure, okay? So if you tap on it, you'll see this yellow box come up. You can, first of all, that yellow box is what's in focus. So you can choose whatever you want. Ooh, look, I accidentally, I was gonna talk about that too. You can choose to focus on something else. Like right now, I'm choosing to focus on the foreground, and then you can tap over here and it'll change that focus to the robot, okay? But I can also do this. In a real camera, we call this manual mode. You can see I'm kind of cranking up this little sunshine right here, and that will actually increase the exposure. Now, the trouble I found is once I stop doing that and I go back to take the picture, it stops it. Now, according to the controls here, okay, you can see it stopped doing it for a minute, which definitely annoys me. It's not very user-friendly in that regard. You are supposed to be able to hold this for a while, and this thing is supposed to come up on the top. And honestly, I think it's a garbagey thing because look, you do it and it doesn't. Sometimes it does though. There's a lock that comes up on the top that locks it. That's supposed to keep it from changing when you go to take a picture. I find that you're supposed to double tap it or something or whatever. I think it sucks. I've seen it come up a few times and I've been like, yay, but a lot of times it doesn't. So I just try to hold it really still. Don't touch anything else in the frame. Take the picture. See? So now it went back. It went back to normal after I took this picture. You can see that exposure is overexposed. It's super, super bright, right? And that's what happened when I turned it up. You can also turn it down. So I'm going to put it back here and I'll turn it down. So, you can slide it like this. And then if you don't touch anything and just press the white button, it'll come out dark. So anyway, that's the only exposure control I can find in here. That's also the only focus control I can find in here. Okay, so the rest of it, of course, you've got slow-mo and video. We can talk about that in another lecture. Portrait mode is two things. It gives you, wait, I should show you this first. These are my lenses I have available. I got the wide angle, I got the regular, and I got the zoom. Now, apparently, and I haven't really done this, you can actually, you can slide through those. You can choose to do like variances of those, like between them. There's like a slider that pops up. I honestly haven't figured that out yet. I was playing with the flash mode mostly because that's what matters to me the most. But yes, you can change that somewhat. To me, it seems stupid though, because here's the thing. Just walk up to it, you know? Like sometimes you might need this for different reasons. But if you want it to be somewhere between this and this, why just stand there like with your finger? Just use your feet. Walk over there. You can change the angle really easily by literally moving your body, okay? Anyway, so this is what we would call normal, the ×1. This would be called a zoom, and this would be called wide. But when you're in zoom, a lot of people are like, I want to zoom more, you know, and you kind of can. You can use your fingers to zoom more. But guys, why do that when you could just walk toward the object? Most of the time when you zoom in anything past 2, you start to lose optical zoom. Then you're just using the digital zoom. You're fake zooming. You're just cropping it and pulling it closer. The optics of the camera aren't actually creating more detail. You're just expanding the detail that already exists. So I would recommend just like move. Just move your hand, move your arm, move your body. Forget the digital zoom. It's not best practices, okay? So there's that. Portrait mode is probably the best invention ever on a phone. What it does here is that it blurs the background. It reduces depth of field on purpose because it looks good. It eliminates some of the mess in the background and makes a better picture, right? So use that portrait mode, but try to understand what it's doing. It's reducing depth of field, and it is creating, you see that 2 times, it's zooming you in a little bit. And real portrait photographers do this all the time on purpose, right? So it just does those 2 things for you. And sometimes it can get kind of wacky. And sometimes I kind of like the wackiness because what it's doing is trying to decide what the background is. I've seen it make really weird things be out of focus in unpredictable ways. So play with that. There's all these weird light settings. Honestly, I think they're crap. I just like don't get it, like what that is even for. But you use it, see if you like it. Contour light maybe makes people look prettier, sorta, but I think natural light is all I ever use on that because it all looks too fake to me. But anyway, you guys play with it. You probably can find a way to use it. And also, let's see what else I want to show you. When you go into pano, you know, you literally have to drag this slider across really slowly to make a panoramic photo. But remember, you got to hold really, really still when you do it because it can get out of control and look weird, right? So I'm just going to go like this. Let's see. Move iPhone continuously. And it says keep it in the center line, which is kind of hard to do, but, you know. Whoa, is it coming around? Is it going to me? Oh, that's creepy. Oh, okay, done. So that came out kind of weird. Look at my, yes. That's fantastic. I'm going to keep that picture forever. That's going to be, I'm going to put that on the wall. All right, so that's what I've found so far in this demo. Next one, I'm going to do the flash modes and the night mode, okay?